All right, welcome to another Troubadour Reacts. And I'm going to be reacting to a song by Bob Dylan, Idiot Wind. Now, I'm actually pretty sure I have not heard this song before. So now I have been wrong in the past. I did a reaction for Hurricane. I was like, I never heard this before. And then I started listening to it and I had heard it before. I was like, okay. So I've heard of some of these songs, because some of them are very famous, rightfully so. I don't think I've heard this one before. Pretty sure, but I could be wrong. So this is the way this works. I'm going to just react. This is a blind reaction. So I'm trying to get what's my first interaction feeling with it. I try to, be positive if I can. We'll see. But if I don't like it, I don't like it. Then afterwards, if you'd like to stick around, I will read through the lyrics and try to understand them a little bit conceptually, do a little analysis. Not a full analysis, just a little bit of my first or second view of it. If that's not for you, then don't do that. Just listen to the reaction, whatever you want. But that's the idea, is I'm trying to expand my appreciation of art and experiencing new kinds of art. My band teacher called me musically challenged, and I think that's kind of accurate. So I'm trying to expand my knowledge of music. If you'd like to expand your knowledge and understanding and experiences with great art, then join me over at troubadour.studio, where we have what's called the Literary Canon Club. And that's where we read through Homer to Ayn Rand. And so if you have ever picked up a great book, like what we're about to start reading, and you can join us for soon, if you picked up a great book and you're like, I really want to read this. I know I want to read it. It looks really good. I've heard great things about it. And then you start reading it and you get intimidated. You don't understand everything. So you put it down. This club is for you. I designed it for you. I will be there live to help guide you through it. And there will be other people there as well to kind of talk to you about it, express yourself, and get a better understanding. The goal is not to become a PhD, a scholar of these works. The goal is simply to understand them. That's the whole point, and that's what we do in the Literary Canon Club. It's just to get a first reading and a first experience with a great work of art. Okay, so now I'm going to listen to this song, and we'll go from there. Here's my first reaction to Idiot Wind by Bob Dylan.
Someone's got it in for me. They're planting stories in the press. Whoever it is, I wish they cut it out quick. But when they will, I can only guess. They say I shot a man named and took his wife to Italy. She had heads and $1 million, and when she died, it came to me. I can't help it.
Is any of this true?
People see me
I don't know why people.
And they just can't remember how to act. Their minds are filled with big ideas, images, and distorted facts. Yesterday, you had to ask me where it was at. I couldn't believe after all these years you didn't know me any better than that. Sweet lady, Idiot Wind, blowing every time you move your mouth, blowing down the back roads heading south.
Okay. I get the Idiot Wind. Hot air. Idiot box. I like it. Dang. This is harsh. So someone's talking smack about him in the news, right?
Fortune teller who said beware of lightning, let man strike. For so long I can't remember what it's like. There's a lone soldier on the cross, smoke pouring out of a boxcar door.
That's why it's called Blood on the Tracks, the album.
Idiot wind blowing through the flowers on your tomb.
Jeez. This guy is not happy.
Through the curtains in your room. Idiot wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You ain't idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe.
Get her.
It was gravity which pulled us down, and destiny which broke us apart. You tamed the lion in my cage, but it just wasn't enough to change my heart. Now everything's a little upside down. As a matter of fact, the wheels have stopped. What's good is bad, what's bad is good. You find out when you reach the top. You're on the bottom. I noticed at this ceremony your corrupt ways had finally made you blind. I can't remember your face anymore. Your mouth has changed, your eyes don't look in mine. The priest wore black on the seventh day and sat stone faced while the building burned. I waited for you on the running boards near the cypress tree while the springtime turned slowly into autumn. Idiot wind blowing like a circle around my skull. From the Grand Coulee Dam to the Capitol. Idiot wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. I can't feel you anymore. I can't even touch the books you've read.
I know that one.
Every time I crawl past your door, I've been wishing I've been somebody else instead. Down the highway, down the tracks, down the road to ecstasy. I followed you beneath the stars, haunted by your memory and all your raging glory. I've been double-crossed now for the very last time, and now I'm finally free. I kissed goodbye the howling beast on the borderline which separated you from me. You'll never know the hurt I suffered, nor the pain I rise above. And I'll never know the same about you, your holiness or your kind of love. And it makes me feel so sorry. Idiot wind blowing through the buttons of our coat, blowing through the letters that we wrote.
I know that one too.
Idiot wind blowing through the dust upon our shells. We are idiots, babe. It's a wonder we can't even feed ourselves.
Okay, now for my reading and kind of first analysis of Idiot Wind by Bob Dylan. Now, I always struggle a little bit with really understanding what's going on with Bob Dylan. I did do a little bit of reading about it, but I didn't see a lot of real analysis. I mean, there's a Wikipedia page that claims it's about his ex-wife, but he in 1985 claimed it wasn't, and he went too far. Although when he talks, I sometimes am not 100% sure what he's saying. So it's a really interesting, like, what is going on? And I don't know, I know there's the perception of that's how all poets are, but that's not true. I've read the prose work of quite a few poets at this point, classic poets. And they are the most articulate. Like, they know what they're trying to say, at least I think the great ones. Now, there's a kind of weird interplay, like this mystery thing that Bob Dylan is utilizing. And I can't tell how much of it is he doesn't really know what he's saying, and he's saying something, he's trying to say something profound, or there really is something profound here. I'm going to choose to believe that there's something he's trying to say. That, and there, what that is, maybe he doesn't even fully know it, and that's fine too. Okay. So I'm going to read this. If you don't want to hear me read it and ruin it for you, don't listen. I don't want to hear your comments about that. Just listen to the first reaction and shut it off. But I'm going to read this and try to understand what he's really trying to say. What's going on with this poem or this song from the lyric standpoint? Okay, so he starts off, someone's got it in for me. They're planting stories in the press. Whoever it is, I wish they'd cut it out quick. But when they will, I can only guess they say I shot a man named Gray and took his wife to Italy. She inherited $1 million. And when she died, it came to me. I can't help it if I'm lucky. So that's one, it's not even a sentence. One thing that makes me always say that these aren't poems, they're song lyrics, is that in poetry, the written word and spoken word is paramount. Here, it's paramount, like his intonation of his singing. That's fine. I'm not criticizing that, to be clear. But that's different than poems. So when we think about poems, you might write it down on a page, you might say it, but the poet is writing it with punctuation, with dashes, and structuring it in a certain way, A, B, or C, whatever. There's all kinds of techniques they use in order to convey to a reader, like sheet music, how to properly read it. Lyrics are not like that. This is only for Bob Dylan to sing the way Bob Dylan wants to sing. And that's awesome. Good for him. That's it. So me doing it this way may not even be a good idea, but I'm going to do my best. Nevertheless, to try to understand, try to remember. I listened to the song again, try to remember how he intoned, because that's important. But my sense of this first stanza, someone's got it in for me, they're planning stories, is, I know that this took place during a gap in his recording and touring. And so I guess there's gossiping going on. I did read that there was some or biography or something like that by a man named Gray, and he told him a joke, and I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on here that's in a personal sense of Bob Dylan's experience in America in the 1970s, right? People gossiping about him, planting stories in the press, and he wishes they'd stop. But when they will stop, I think I can only guess. Or when they will stop, I can only guess. They even say I shot a man named Gray. I think that's a metaphor. I don't know if they actually ever accused him of shooting anybody. Okay, so then he goes on. People see me all the time and they just can't remember how to act. Their minds are filled with big ideas, images, and distorted facts. Even you. Oh, here's a comma. Yesterday, you had to ask me where it was. You had to ask me where it was at. I couldn't believe after all these years, you didn't know me better than that, sweet lady. So now in the second stanza, it seems like he's almost talking to a woman, maybe his ex. And he's relaying this idea, it seems like, that he's recognizable now, right? People see me all the time and they don't even know how to act. And this whole concept of their minds are filled with big ideas, images, and distorted facts. This was an accident. I didn't plan this at all. But in rereading Don Quixote, and we're doing this for the Literary Canon Club, the second part of Don Quixote, So there's the first part that he wrote, and then several years later he wrote the second part of Cervantes. It's a more meta narrative where they are aware of their own fame and commenting on it. And I swear to, like, this poem or this lyric by Bob Dylan, maybe it's because Don Quixote is so fresh in my mind, but it really made me think of Don Quixote a lot. Like this, there's these big ideas out there. They're filled with big ideas, but it's really distorted facts. It's not really reality. This whole song kind of plays on what is real, what is idiot wind, right? That's the next stanza. So it's the first time he says idiot wind. So, to me, I'm starting to get this picture of idiot wind as like, hot air, but it's a certain kind of, wind goes places, it takes you places, or it takes people or things like a leaf or something places. So it moves, right? Hot air is just an expression of me. Kirk has hot air. He's just talking, right? Idiot wind has more of a connotation, I think, and a meaning that is about the movement of like eras moving, and maybe our own personal era changing. And it's a stupid, not a rational, consciously well-intentioned movement. Idiot wind blowing every time you move your mouth, blowing down the back roads, heading down south. So again, here's this, now I'm getting this picture of like, it's also America, right? That it's maybe the things that America says. It could mean that a little bit. Blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. I ran into the fortune teller who said, beware of lightning that might strike. I don't know what that means. I haven't known peace and quiet for beware of lightning that might strike. I haven't known peace and quiet for so long, I can't remember what it's like. There's a lone soldier on the cross, smoke pouring out of a boxcar door. You didn't know it. You didn't think it could be done. In the final end, he won the wars after losing every battle. No idea. Beware of lightning that might strike. So, your career, your fame, like beware of having a lightning strike in your fame because you're famous. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna move on. Something about war. There's smoke. These seem like he's trying to say something about his own future or the future of America. I'm trying to hold those as two possible metaphors of what he's trying to say. I woke up on the roadside daydreaming about the way things sometimes are. Visions of your chestnut mare, a horse, shoot through my head, not shot my, like, so, okay. So visions, daydreams, shoot through his head and are making me see stars. You hurt the ones that I love. See, I cannot help but think about Don Quixote now, right? Daydreaming about the way things sometimes are. Visions of your, I'm thinking of Rocinante, the horse. But I know that's not what he's thinking, by the way. Shoot through my head and are making me see stars. You hurt the ones that I love best and cover up the truth with lies. One day you'll be in the ditch, flies buzzing around your eyes, blood on your saddle. So obviously this has to be some kind of image of, if we stick with the America thing, more than the metaphor about a girlfriend, this is saying something about the Old West and where the America is moving, right? So the daydream, if you grew up like he did on Westerns, probably in the 30s and 40s, that's a huge part of American cinema and American ethos and art. And he's constantly seeing that makes him see stars. That makes him see visions of, how to act and how to be. But he's saying that if we take this as America, as a metaphor, you hurt the ones that I love best and cover up the truth with lies. That really says something about America. One day you'll be in the ditch, flies buzzing, like America will die. Blood on your saddle, like the Western hero, right? The Western hero in the sense of not the Western hero in the sense of like Achilles, but the Western hero in the sense of John Wayne type person. Idiot wind blowing through the flowers on your tomb, blowing through the curtains in your room. Idiot wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. So again, now it feels like he's going back to a woman, right? Like, because he's saying babe. You don't usually say America as babe, but so maybe he does. It was gravity which pulled us down and destiny which broke us apart. You tamed the lion in my cage, but it just wasn't enough to change my heart. Now everything's a little upside down. As a matter of fact, the wheels have stopped. What's good is bad, what's bad is good. You'll find out when you reach the top, you're on the bottom. So, okay, we're talking about gravity pulling you down, destiny broke us apart. You tamed the lion in my cage. I don't know, I'm seeing both a little bit of like tingling of, this has to do with this woman. Maybe it also has to do with America again, because, the gravity bring us down, destiny, taming the lion, the lion one sounds more like a personal thing, right? Like taming my lion. Like I was a wild beast and you're the beauty to my lion. But it could also be taming the Wild West. But it just went, maybe that's why he loves, and people love this song, is that it can be both. And it can have these, and not just like multiple interpretations, like a lot of literature can have mixed perspectives. But he's like, it really could just completely be two different things. Now everything's a little upside down. As a matter of fact, the wheels have stopped. What's good is bad. What's bad is good. So America's inverted. It's it's in the Vietnam War. What used to be good, fighting for justice, is now, more like imperialism. I noticed at the ceremony your corrupt ways had finally made you blind. I can't remember your face anymore. Your mouth has changed. Your eyes don't look into mine. The priests wore black on the seventh day and sat stone-faced while the building burned. I waited for you on the running boards near the cypress trees while the springtime turned slowly into autumn. Idiot wind blowing like a circle around my skull from the Grand Coulee Dam. That's a dam in Washington to the Capitol. So idiot wind. So it's again this. So this is why I'm thinking has to do with America, right? It has almost that Forrest Gump feel, that Bye Bye Miss American Pie song. Like it seems like it's a person going around having these experiences around the country from the, so idiot wind is moving, right? Like I think of the image that comes to mind is the feather in Forrest Gump, right? That kind of, and it comes in and it goes, it's like Forrest Gump goes everywhere and you see him through Vietnam. You see him meeting all these presidents and doing all these things as America changes through time. I can't feel you anymore. I can't even touch the books you've read. That one touched me for sure on a personal level. Like I've had that experience with exes where it's like, I can't even touch the books that they read or that they recommended. I get over it after a little while, but every time I crawl past your door, I've been wishing I was somebody else instead. That one I don't appreciate. I would never simp that hard for anybody. Crawl past your door and wish I'm why would I want to be anybody else? Down the highway, down the tracks, down the road to ecstasy, I followed you beneath the stars, hounded by your memory and all your rage and glory. Yeah, okay. I followed you. So it's again just following the North Star, right? That could apply to America, like America's the North Star, and I'm acting the way a good American should, or it could be, following a woman that you love. I've been double-crossed now for the last time, and now I'm finally free. I kissed goodbye the howling beast on the borderline which separated you from me. You'll never know the hurt I suffered. See, I really like the borderline line. So when you're in a relationship, definitely feels like the borderline between you and somebody else merges, right? And so then there's the question, when you separate, what's on the border? Like what, the border between America and Mexico, right? There's a border there. And there's like a no man's land, or there's a place where people aren't living in a lot of these places. I mean, there's border towns, but here there's a howling beast. So again, this feels like it could be America, it could be a woman, or it could have been inspired by a person, and then he elevated it, or not even elevated, he changed it to be about a woman or about America. That's what I think. You'll never know the hurts I suffered nor the pain I rise above. And I'll never know the same about you, your holiness, or your kind of love. And it makes me feel so sorry. So now it seems like he's saying goodbye to the howling beast, and he's acknowledging it on both sides an inability to see what's going on in the other life, and that's a loss. So you'll never know the hurt I suffered, and I'll never know the same about you. And that is one of the things that's sad about a separation, right? One of the many things is that it's like they go on, they live their lives, they do things every day, they wake up, they make love, they work, they do all these things, and they suffer, they go through pain, they lose things, all those things happen. And you, although you were intimately tied to this person and you knew every detail about their life and everything that happened to them, and everything that was happening to them on a day-to-day basis, that's now gone. And they go on and you go on, and there's this suffering and pain and pleasure and joy and all the rest, and then it's gone. I mean, I like that sentiment. This whole stanza is probably my favorite. Idiot wind blowing through the buttons of our coats, blowing through the letters that we wrote. Idiot wind blowing through the dust upon our shelves. We're idiots, babe. It's a wonder we can even feed ourselves. So buttons of our coats, soldiers, maybe, letters, love letters between lovers, letters between soldiers and parents. And then blowing through the dust upon our shelves. We're idiots, babe. And now he's taking personal responsibility. Okay, that's my best attempt at a read and trying to understand a little bit of it. I think I understand a little bit better now. Maybe you do too. What are your thoughts on it? What do you think this is about? Is he talking about America exclusively? Is he talking about America and a woman? Is he talking about his experience with a woman while living in America and dealing with all this stuff that's going on? Maybe all of that. I don't know. What do you think? See you next time.